It needs to go somewhere.
Okay.
It's not justifiable where it's at.
Okay.
There isn't any.
I think we're recording. I can edit this later. Okay, so we went to dinner and we decided to find out what they're doing cutting the mountain apart. And I'm riding with someone who knows how to grade roads. And I've heard how this road is kind of not graded exactly right. So
it makes no sense.
It makes no sense what they're doing here. But we just came up behind the hospital, and this is Elko, Nevada. So of course everything is just caliche and sagebrush and mesquite and roads to nowhere. So this road, which God knows what it cost, is going from the hospital to Pinion Road, where they don't have an ambulance, and it doesn't really make any sense because this is only like a couple of apartment complexes and a bunch of medical offices.
With the amount of money it costs to do this, they could have finished the road.
They could have built a whole new airport for this.
They could have finished the road.
Look how much money they spent on this. What were they thinking? Who told them to do this? And is this a dead end, or am I going to actually end up back on the highway?
Well, you can, but turn around down here and go back.
Go back up?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Yep, this is what you get to do when you go out to dinner and there's nothing else to do. See, we're now back out on, oops, yep. I got to turn around. Look what I can do in my truck. Because I live in Nevada and I'm driving a truck. I'm not in New Jersey anymore. Okay, now we're going back up the hill. Here's the back end of some apartments, and there's absolutely nothing out here. So why did they do this? And what did this cost? Notice that they cut right through this mountain. Oop, there was a garbage. This is a great place to come out and have an argument. No one would ever hear you.
They got all the sagebrush in the road. You can't have fucking organic shit in the field.
Look at that. They got crap in the road.
The brush rots.
Wow.
It is void.
It does?
Yeah, wood does. Anything that's organic will deteriorate and leave a hole in your road.
Ooh. Do you suppose anybody bothered to tell them that?
They should have inspectors here that fucking was telling them
They probably cut corners.
that. Well, I know they do that.
That better been not something falling out of the back of the truck. We also went to Home Depot. Oh, there's the Big E. If you're ever wondering what the Big E is, that's it. The Big E. That's a small pile of nothing. And another small pile.
You get up here, take a right.
Okay.
So we go see where the end of it is.
See the end of the road. Isn't this exciting? We might get home before another thunderstorm. See, look, that's what they do around here. So if you ever wanted to know...
And see those logs or whatever they're fucking called, the socks?
Yeah, socks.
They're for erosion. Supposed to keep the water.
Uh-huh.
And they're supposed to be set on contour.
Ooh, look at this. Sunset in the middle of nowhere.
What's sunset?
That's sunset.
The sun's gone.
Oh, it's trying to leave.
But those are supposed to be set on contour. The same elevation?
Yeah.
That is not an elevation. It's going downhill.
Ooh. So
The water would hit it and just run down it.
Wash out into this arroyo, or we call it a gully out here. Do you call it a gully or an arroyo? In New Mexico, that's an arroyo.
What is it?
A gully. A dip.
It's a low spot.
Low spot. Ooh. Debris. But that's okay. I'm driving a truck. And she did have a stroke. Probably because she saw what I would be doing 20 years into the future.
Were you driving down the road?
In the middle of nowhere. I was supposed to be on a cruise ship or something.
Not in Nevada.
No, not here. I am going to Berlin. They do have a cruise there. I might want to go on. Yes.
That's where they should put a road. They started it.
Yep, that's.
Sort of, kind of.
And I think we're about to dead end.
Yeah.
And this is what they call the end of the road. Yep, I'm going to turn around here.
Keep going.
You want me to? That looks like it's
Just
nasty.
listen.
All right.
Right here. when you
Ooh,
go
an
down this-
abandoned vehicle? Ooh. Something to scrap in the middle of nowhere?
Where that Grant Street is, where that Vicky lives.
Yeah.
That's where you go to there to her place. So this is where the road ended.
Okay.
You go over that little hill,
Uh-huh.
you're at Morris Lane.
Oh, okay.
Another 100 yards, you're at Errecart Blvd Road. It goes over at the dam.
Well, they spent a lot of money on a detour, didn't they?
They could have finished it because you just go over that hill and it's downhill
Right here.
to Errecart Blvd Road. It makes no fucking sense.
Maybe they didn't have a map. Someone didn't walk this first.
No. Why did they do that road over there? If they wouldn't have done that, they would have had enough money to
They would have
finish
had
it.
enough money to finish this. Oh,
There's no reason for that road to go to fucking.
I'm going to stop the video now because the conversation could get a little bit not family friendly.